If we haven't met before, I'm Sarah, an end-of-life planning advocate, normalizing conversations about end-of-life and estate planning before those conversations are necessary. I've said it before, I'll say it again, estate planning isn't just for old people, and it isn't just for rich people. Everyone needs to do, and everyone will benefit from some sort of estate planning. What that planning looks like and what documents are appropriate will look different for different groups of people, since the concerns of each group will look different. A rich old couple's estate plan might focus a lot on tax planning, but that's likely of little concern to a single 20-something with little income. However, that young single person's plan might focus a lot on making sure their friends will be involved in making their medical decisions for them or making plans for their pet. But even so, estate planning for an 18-year-old that seems like a bit of a stretch. But bad things can happen to anyone at any time. Once again, I am always the bringer of such happy thoughts to people. Those first adult years are strange. You're used to your parents taking care of everything and stepping in when adult things need to be taken care of. But once you turn 18, the rules change. You are an adult. Your parents aren't necessarily automatically entitled to information about you and might not be automatically entitled to act on your behalf. This independence can be refreshing, but in an emergency, like a medical emergency, it can get complicated fast. Your parents might not be able to get a complete picture of your situation. They won't be able to access your bank account or make sure your bills are paid. Thankfully, this can easily be fixed with what else? Paperwork. There are a few documents that everyone who is 18 and older should complete, or at least consider if it's an appropriate document for them in their circumstances. Most of these documents can be created without the aid of an attorney. But if you have any questions or issues or want to ensure the complete accuracy of the documents, consult an attorney. Rules on how to make each document legally binding might vary by state and by document. It's usually some combination of signatures, witnesses, and/or notarizations. Make sure you've properly and completely executed each form or it will be invalid. In each case, you can nominate the person you feel is most appropriate to help in that situation. This might be your parent or whoever fills the parent-size role in your life, but it doesn't have to be. It can be anyone you trust to step in and make decisions for you or act on your behalf. Parent, sibling, trusted friend. A living will, an advanced care directive, and appointment of healthcare agent. If you are in an accident and incapacitated, the person who you'd want to make those decisions for you may not be able to do so if they aren't tied to you by blood or marriage. This can be fixed with paperwork. What this document is called varies by state. In some places, it's an advanced care directive. In others, a living will. Your state might call the person making medical decisions on your behalf a healthcare proxy, a healthcare agent, or a medical power of attorney. Regardless of what it's called, you're looking for two important elements. Number one, a place to document your healthcare choices and preferences. For example, whether or not you want CPR or a feeding tube. Many forms also have a narrative section where you can document your values or what's important to you. This will help guide your decision makers if you are ever incapacitated and can't speak for yourself. This document is often, but not always, called the living will. Second, you're looking for a document to appoint the person you want to act and make choices on your behalf if you are incapacitated, your healthcare agent. To make it extra confusing, in some states, these are two separate documents. In others, they are two parts of a single document. For example, where I am in California, an advanced care directive is the name for a single document that contains both living will and an appointment of healthcare agent sections. So first, complete your living will, advanced care directive, and your appointment of healthcare agent forms to ensure the people you want to make medical decisions for you in a medical emergency are able to do so, and so that they know what your wishes are. Contact your primary care doctor or health insurance company to see if they have forms you can use. The next document, a will. Young people tend not to think about a will. That's for old people, right? But everyone can benefit from having a will, largely because you never know when you might need it. A will states what you want to have happen to your stuff and who you want to be in charge after you die. A will is a good idea for everyone who is 18 and older. Even if you don't have lots of money, you may have sentimental items to deal with or a pet that you want to be sure is taken care of. And if you have kids, a will is where you'll nominate who you want to be their guardian. And your digital life will also need to be wrapped up. Who do you want to deal with your email, access your notes apps, or cancel all of your online subscriptions and services? All of your stuff and the responsibility of wrapping up your affairs will fall to your spouse or nearest blood relation. If you want your friends, chosen family, or unmarried partner to have a role or get your stuff, you need to do the paperwork. One upside of writing a will when you're young, it's usually a lot easier to do when you're young and have less stuff and fewer life complications like marriages, divorce, and kids. When you're young and life is relatively simple, it can be a lot easier to get your head around what property you have and what you want to have happen to it. And once you have that basic structure in place, it's just a matter of keeping it updated as your life and situations change. So your next task, write a will to nominate who you want to be in charge of your estate, your both in real life and your digital estate after you die, and what should happen to your stuff. There are other documents that not everyone will need, but that you may want to consider depending on your situation. A HIPAA authorization. In most locations, a healthcare agent or healthcare proxy appointment, which we just talked about, doesn't take effect unless or until you are incapacitated and cannot speak for yourself. And HIPAA, the medical privacy laws, prevent medical professionals from talking to anyone about your medical situation or sharing records. A HIPAA authorization allows your medical team to release medical information to your designated people, even if you aren't incapacitated. So consider a HIPAA authorization if you might want your designated person to be able to access your medical records, even if you aren't incapacitated. Note that if you are attending college, your school's health services department may require its own authorization in addition to or instead of the HIPAA authorization for release of information about services obtained there. A durable power of attorney. A durable power of attorney allows you to appoint someone else to manage your financial or business affairs. This can include things like managing bank accounts or filing taxes or signing documents on your behalf. These power of attorney appointments can be set up to only be valid for specific transactions, for example, a single bank account, or they can be a blanket for any transaction. The durable part of the power of attorney ensures that the appointment will remain valid even if you become incapacitated. Consider a durable power of attorney if you might want someone else to help you manage your financial or business affairs. See? That wasn't so bad. A few documents and your estate plan is taking shape. No complex financial tax shelters required. And for many people, not even a lawyer in sight. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and also consider hitting the subscribe button for regular end-of-life and estate planning information.